Hello all, welcome to Clark Technologies, and we are very happy to announce that we are going to provide a free course for MuleSoft for all the freshers and beginners and who want to learn MuleSoft from scratch. This is entirely free course which we are going to release on day by day basis. So it will be a 30 days course, so it is very helpful for you to learn MuleSoft from scratch. And we have explained this course with the real-time project. We have built a real-time project also. In order to explain that, we have created a couple of files and project code as well. So if you want to get those files and projects, please email us with this subject line, request to share level 1 course file. Also, we have an important announcement that we are planning to release a MuleSoft advanced level 2 course very soon. So in this course we will be discussing most of the topics of MuleSoft, which will help you very well in order to complete level 2 certification as well as to work on complex real-time projects as well. So I hope you will be enjoying that course as well. So if you want to know more details about advanced level course, please contact us via mobile or email. We will be sharing those details. So without further delay, let's get started.
Yeah, so in previous video we have designed it and implemented it, but we have a couple of pending tasks to complete it, the process API. So we need to do all these things in this video. Okay, so we need to commit the code, but before commit the code, let's apply auto discovery also, as we have already designed the yeah, we have already designed the trammel. Let me just, and yeah, we have already created the API in API manager, not the RAM. Yeah, we have already created this. Let's apply the auto discovery as well. Let me go to the API manager to get that instance ID. Right, let me just increase the volume. Okay, so for this process API, the instance ID is this one, right? So let's copy this. Let's add auto discovery also. And remember, I am not following best practices right now because just have all these global connectors in global.xml file, create one thing. This is an assignment for you. So follow the system API, how we can do this. Just follow the things and apply the all best practices here. For now, I'm just creating the global endpoint of auto discovery in IBS library POPI IMPL. Okay. So this is the API ID, but you should not hard code any values. Just provide the values in the property file, read it from there. Right? So, yeah, main, API main. Okay. Now, yeah, we have added the auto discovery. What is the other thing? We need to apply the policies and we need to commit the code and cloud hub URL testing. Let's do all these things one by one. We have added the auto discovery. Now let's commit the code first thing. Okay. And remember, we have just added the properties file, but we didn't say. So as of now, maybe let's create the property file configuration. But to be frank, we are not using any environment kind of stuff, and we are not what is that, externalize any properties as of now, right? So let's leave it. But yeah, sorry, before we deploy this into cloud hub, we have to change the port number, that we need to remember, right? So maybe, so in that case, let's do one thing. Let's create properties configuration. And let me just give the local.yaml only for now. I'm not going to give dynamic file. So let's observe the difference. So now I'm just directly giving local.yaml. So what it will do, I should not, I don't want to send any environment variable dynamically, but this is not the right case. Okay. You should follow the practice of a system API. As of now, why I'm doing this, I just wanted to give the dynamic port. Okay. HTTP.port, and which is already there here. Educator, right? So that is the thing. Uh, let me start the deployment, and parallelly we can commit the code. There is no CI/CD as of now, so we can do it parallelly. Otherwise, we need to commit the code, then automatically deployment will take place, right? But for now, we can do it parallelly. Parallelly, reply to Cloud Hub. Just maximize this copy, and I can say just like just to make the differential, and select the Cloud Hub on that too. And remaining we can leave it as I said, like this is the new runtime. Maybe this time we can just deploy it in new runtime. And let's see. I don't think there is not much difference between 4.2 and 5.2 to deploy the applications. Yeah, maybe let's close this. It will get deployed in the background. Let's commit the code. We just go to Show in System Explorer. And please do remember, I'm just saying it multiple times, please do remember. Please follow the best practices which we have done for the system API, creating global.xml, externalizing the properties, encrypting the properties, everything. Please do it from your end, right? So I'm just going to the brush here. So I'm just adding everything. Now we have added a lot of files. So what we can do, we can commit it, okay? Git commit -m PAPA implementation. And let's push this. Git push origin. And likewise, each and every API, we need to set up the pipeline also. I will set up the pipeline for one API. You can follow the same steps and set up the pipeline for the other two APIs. Then you will be getting hands-on. That maybe we can see in future videos. Okay, so yeah, Azure DevOps. So not here. Let me just open Azure DevOps. Okay, the repos. Yeah, the code is updated, but still I think the application is not yet deployed. Let me just go to runtime manager and see how the status, if it is deployed or not. Let's see. Yeah, and we need to add one more thing, that properties, runtime properties, to make this auto discovery enable. We need to add those properties as well. This new runtime support use on this state, but don't worry, that is beta version. They will release the version maybe in future. Okay, let it get deployed. Meanwhile, let's see our Azure stories. It's been quite long time, right? But to be frank, in your real-time projects, while you are working on projects, you should visit this daily. You should update your user stories. So create repository management, everything is done by this time. Module retrieve, yeah, we have done this implementation also. It is done. Library to new book, this is also done, but let's update the details. So as a developer you need to fill all these details. So story points 3, priority 2. You may on daily basis you can add your comments here in the discussion box. So as this is the one time thing I'm doing, implementation completed, testing in progress. I can say like this. Okay, so like this you need to add the comments, you need to update the things and all. Okay. Okay, so result. As a library member, I want to list the books based on the rating. This is also we have done the implementation for system API. Okay, done. So now we are working on the, sorry, we have already worked on the one user story, one new user story. Initially, before working on that only, it will create and it will get assigned to you. Okay, so as a member, I would like to see required transformations in processing. I am just writing it for namesake, but in your real time, the user story name will differ and the acceptance criteria also differ. So this is nothing but process API implementation. So as part of this, what is the description? We need to design and implement process API for LVS, library management system. So acceptance criteria means what are the target for this user story, like what are the tasks you have to complete. So as part of this, design ramen with fragments. I mean, it means like by using reusable fragments. Because we have already created a couple of fragments, and to be frank, in our 3 APIs the RAML is pretty much same, using reusable fragments. You can reuse these fragments. Sorry. And other part, we need to start the implementation, implement the code by calling system API, transform the output as required. And I just added a couple of points here, but in your real-time case, story points, how many story points is needed? As I said, like one story point, maybe we can consider it as an 8 hours. So 3 days may be enough. So 3 story points, enough. In 3 days, maybe we can do it if you assume. I mean, if you are okay like that. Otherwise, like usually, it's better to have 5 story points for every long point, for any long API where it has a design implementation altogether. If we need to complete, it's better to keep some buffer time and estimate that story point like 5. It means 5 days and 40 hours. Because if you estimate more than this, you cannot complete that in the same sprint. One sprint will be having only 2 weeks. Right. So if one developer can have 2 user stories at least in a single sprint, you can just plan it accordingly. The one large user story or 2 small user stories, you can pick it up from the backlog and you can just work on it in the same sprint. Right. So yeah. So like this, you can create the user stories. I mean, it's not you as a developer. Usually, business analyst will create user stories, and your product manager, scrum master, you all can discuss in the sprint planning, and you can assign the stories to you. But to assign the stories, maybe you can do it as a developer. So you will see list of user stories here. If you are able to work on this particular user story, maybe you can just assign it for you, and you can start working on it by removing this to in progress. Like we will have lot of user stories in product backlog or the sprint backlog. You can just pull it them and use it. Or if you missed, I mean, if the business analyst missed any new user story, any feature or any functionality if it is missed, then in that case you can create your own user story by, I mean, you can create user story by your own, not your own user story, by your own. And then you can assign it to you and you can explain why what is the need of that user story, why you created its new user story. Like that you can explain to the scrum master. Maybe you can, once he approves or once he is okay, you can work on it. So now we are working on this process API. So it is in progress. So let's see if it is deployed and if it is tested. Then we can move this also to resolved state. This is for this current sprint. So as we have started this 2 weeks back, this sprint is over. So in the next sprint, we will have another user stories for experience API and for other stuff. Okay. So we have to remember all these things. So I'm just going to, anyway, if it starts also, it will not work. It will give you 503 because we are not sending that, we have not sent that auto discovery API related properties. Okay, we can just copy paste it from here. Okay. Here we masked them. Okay, let me just copy it. We can change the values. Have the original values, right? Maybe we can change it. For the process API, I'm going to settings and in the runtime properties, I'm going to text to view. I'll just paste it. So this is the problem. Once you masked these values by using the terminal artifact.json, which we have seen in our previous videos, it will not it will not show you the original values. Okay. So but now in this case we have to pass the actual values for this process API because it doesn't know the actual values, right? So to do that, let's open another window because if I closed it, this will gone. In the another window, from where you are getting that client ID secret of this dev, and the access management, go to your business group. In the business group, go to plat, and here you have environments. There you can just click on these dots. You no, one second. If you click on this dev, you will see the client ID and secret. Okay. Let me just copy. Let's see if it is the same or not. Okay, here you don't have headers, right? Okay, this is application client ID secret. Okay, no, okay, don't get confused. Yeah, let's just copy it from here and paste the client ID, client secret. Okay, let's click on apply changes. It will again start the deployment. So it will start the new deployment with all the values. It will take some time. So yeah, yeah. In the meanwhile, maybe yeah. So this sprint is over. Maybe if we can say everything is closed and resolved, this sprint will get over. Now we will see. We have to work on another another sprint, right? So here implementation started. This is the status. This is okay. Iteration sprint 2. Oh, yeah. So obviously, it went to sprint 2 once we create new user story. Because now today date while I'm recording it is October 9th. Our second sprint duration is also from October 2nd to October 16th. So that is why it is automatically taken the iteration as sprint 2. So whenever you create new user stories now, it will be mapped to sprint 2. But let's see what are the dates, if it is changed or not here. See here it is sprint 1, the old user stories. Okay, like that. So maybe if we can go to the sprint, here you can see sprint 2 cycle. There you have only one user story, right? Okay, so like that you can uh, do the sprint planning and you can work on these user stories and all. But this is your day-to-day task. As we have not filled it from last 2 weeks, I just filled everything at a time. But you need to fill these details at least 2 days once or something based on your progress on your user story. Right. Let me go back to the Cloud Hub. It is still starting deployment. Maybe let me wait 2 minutes. Then we will see how to test this. So it is getting deployed and now it is unblocked and available. So this time let's see. Yeah, it is deployed. Done to green. So let's go to API manager and see if the API is active. Yes, process API is also active now. Only experience API is unregistered because we have not started implementation for this and we have not implemented auto discovery in that. Okay, so let's see that later. Right, so yeah, so it is deployed. Now let's quickly test this. So this is your API URL. And remember, as of now, we have not added any policies. So you can test it directly without any policies. You don't need to send any headers. Okay, slash API slash libraries. So now here I am calling Poppy process API. But in process API, I didn't use any database connector and all. I have invoked the system API here. In local testing also we saw that. Okay? So now I need to get this detail in the Cloud Hub also to make this work. So let me hit this. Yeah, we received the transformed response. 200 OK, and this is the response format. So now let's test the system API. In system API, you should not see the response in this way. It will get all the all the payload as it is from the database, right? Before that, let me just save this. Process API URL. So this is your system API, right? Let's test this. But this is based on the this is the libraries. Same endpoint. Let's test this. So we are testing it system API. Now our output is like this. Whenever you test the process API, your output is like this because we have transformed it manually by using transform data view component in the process API. So now for our client, we are not going to give our system API. We are not going to give our process API as well. We will be giving the experience API URL to them. Right now, we have implemented one method to get the libraries. In the similar way, we need to implement different flows for get the libraries by using library ID, create the new book and get the books details based on the rating and all. We need to implement those flows also in the similar way. Maybe let's see, or you can try the other your other features. Let me complete the experience API in the next video. Then at the end, after that experience API, maybe we can come back and we can complete all the three other resources also in the all three APIs, all two APIs. System API we have completed eventually, but in process API we have done the implementation for get libraries feature only, but you need to implement in the same way for the other three resources also. Right, you can try. Maybe let me stop this video till here. You can try process API details. If you have any doubts, maybe we can discuss. Otherwise, we can complete it later once we complete the experience API in our next video. Right, thank you.